Today I am going to make videos on drawing views, in which I will be discussing the topics. They are the orthographic projection, oblique views, drawing information, the title block, supplementary blocks, list of materials, and dimensioning. So do look till last and like it, comment it, and subscribe it. Or the orthographic in drawing views, the orthographic projection. Orthographic projection was described briefly in earlier videos. However, the method for drawing such a projection was not described. An orthographic projection is defined as a projection in which the projecting lines are perpendicular to the plane of projection. We enclose an object in a rectangular glass box as shown in figure. We can see several views of the object by observing it on lines of sight perpendicular to the glass surfaces. The views we are projected to view 1, front view, 2 side views, and view 3 top. When we study all the three views, knowing that they are different views of the object, we can determine the actual configuration of the object drawn. When any three-dimensional object is placed in a glass box as shown in the figure, there are actually 6 views that may be seen. These may be front and back views, the top and bottom views. These are front and back views, the top and bottom views, and the left and the right views. For most objects, 3 views are adequate to describe the object. Views used are usually the front, top, and right views. The three view orthographic drawings of the object is described in this figure. It is accomplished as shown in the figure which I am giving you. Which I have given now, it is not included in standard drawings. Invisible outlines are also used to show a hole inside an object. This is illustrated in this figure. The oblique views such as perspective and isometric are not usually shown in engineering drawings. They are useful for the purposes of illustration to show three-dimensional configuration. A discussion of such views was earlier discussed in the aircraft engineering drawings videos. Now I am giving the next topic, drawing information. On every engineering drawing, every shop sketch, and any drawing that is intended to convey information, the proper type of information must be supplied. This is accomplished by means of the block, supplementary blocks, notes, dimensions, etc. The information supplied should be arranged in a standardized manner so that it is readable and understandable. Now the next topic, the title block. The title block also we have explained earlier in earlier videos of the aircraft engineering drawings, but it is well to consider important aspect of this device again. Title blocks for production drawings prepared for government contracts items are described in the chart size of 3A. This standard also described other aspects of the drawing format. A typical title block for a drawing is shown in this figure. The basic block is divided into side blocks marked A, B, C, D and E. The A section is the space provided for the name and address of the preparing agency. When a drawing is prepared by a contractor for issue as a government agency drawing, this space shows the name and address of only the company government agency. When the government agency accept and manufacturer's drawing, the manufacturer's name and address only appear in the block. In this figure, the portion of the block shown as B is the space provided for the title of the drawing. The C areas provided for the signatures necessary to record the preparation, checking, approval and date of the drawing. Block D shows the area provided for the informations on the scale of the drawing, that is in bracket dimensional scale, and block can be used for weight information or for reference to a specification or other permanent data. The lower right hand section of the title block area is used for the drawing numbers. Usually the first digit of the drawing numbers indicates the size of the paper used. This is 1, 2, 4, etc. The digits following the first digit provide identification for the drawing and the part or parts shown on the drawing. The number is printed in large bold letters as shown in this figure. Supplementary blocks. Supplementary blocks are used for dimensional notes, material, treatment or finish. These blocks are located adjacent to the basic title blocks as shown in this figure. Block marked F gives dimensional information and the block G is used for a description of the material, a reference to specifications, heat treatment, finish, etc. Now list of materials. When it is decided to show a complete material record on a drawing by listing all the parts forming the assembly, a supplementary block can be located on the right hand side of the drawing shown the basic title block. This arrangement is shown in this figure. The information shown in this illustration presents the minimum requirements necessary for the preparation of a complete material record. Additional columns can be included if required. For parts included in the list of material that are detailed on other drawings, show only the quantity required. Part number description and weight need be stated. The required column shows the number of parts required to make one assembly, such as that to which the list pertains. The part number column shows the part number or application dash numbers of each part detailed on the drawing. Parts detailed on other drawings are listed by giving the drawing numbers and applicable dash numbers. The description column shows the name that clearly classifies the part. The material column shows the name or description of the material from which the part is to be made and may include the stock area. The mat spec column identifies the applicable specification of the material from which the part to be made. The unit WT column, when required, shows the actual unit weight of the finished part. Where the actual weight is not available, the calculated weight can be entered, preceded by the abbreviation CALC. On those drawings where it is desired to include information concerning the physical properties of the material, these informations can be known in another supplementary block, such as illustrated in this figure. When stock numbers for catalog identification of an item are required to be shown on a drawing, one such number can be included with the title of the drawing, or if there is more than one number, they can be placed in a tabular form within a supplementary block adjacent to the title block. Where a list of material is shown on the drawing, a column can be added to include the stock number, or they can be indicated adjacent to any assembly view. Now the last, dimensioning. Methods of dimensioning are tolerancing are given in MIL STD 8A. Dimensions are indicated by the use of lines, symbols, numerals, and notes on drawing to define geometric characteristics such as lengths, location, diameters, and angles. It is important that the statement of the dimensions be clear and permit only one interpretation. It is permissible to deviate from the ordinary rules of dimensioning in unusual instances only if clarity can be improved by so doing. All dimensions should be complete without repetitive, that is, each surface line or point is located by one and only one set of dimensions, which is not repeated in other views. Size, forms, and locations can be specified by means of two fundamental dimensional systems: rectangular dimensioning and angular dimensioning. Both of the systems can be used on one drawing. However, any given surface or any given angle must be located only by the rectangular system or only by the angular system, except where points of tangency are determined by radii. In cases where no tolerances is shown, it is assumed that permissible variations in the dimensions are covered by a general tolerance in a supplementary block. Now I am giving a figure which illustrates the rectangular dimensioning system. In this system, the extension lines for horizontal dimensions are placed in a vertical position and extension lines for vertical dimensions are placed in a horizontal position. All dimensions numbers are arranged in horizontal lines so that they can be read from the bottom of the drawing. Angular dimensioning is shown in figure earlier. It is used to indicate the position of a point, line or surface by means of a linear dimensions and angle other than the 90 degree angle implied by the horizontal and vertical central lines. The advantage of angular dimensioning for certain drawing is shown in this figure, which I will be giving you. It will be observed that the angular system is more suitable for this type of drawing. The rectangular method generally is preferred, especially when tolerances are close. However, where the angular systems provides a better indication, it should be used. This is particularly true when specifying the location of several holes on a common arc or dimensioning graduation on a circular scale. Now, the dimensioning of curved surface is shown in this figure. When it is desired to give the dimensions for the spacing of holes and other features on such surfaces, care should be taken to indicate clearly the surface on which the dimensioned points are to be measured and whether the dimensions are caudal or circumferential. In bracket, a caudal dimension is a straight line measurement between 2 points on a circle, bracket closed. So next I will be going for the application of dimension and tolerance in the coming video.